So I said that. I said it before. Let's see, SEFIRAT HAOMER. And I was thinking, well, let's take this. Look at some of these these what do you call it, the displays, or what do they call them, the tziurim that are brought over here by the RASHASH. And then I realized that I read that little piece that we're about to go into now. That actually there's a language here. He has an actual language. What the way he wants us to picture the Rav is through the words that he uses. And if we can get through this little part right here, we may be able to get an idea of learning some of his language. I'm slow at it. Because I realize, even though that I want to try to go through some of the tziurim, I realize that you need this language, because sooner or later you're going to get it. Okay, so we stopped the last time. Let's go back up. Let's go to the first word on the line is mehem shalosha chalukos. Maybe we should go back a little bit further. Go back to where it says v'hinei. Okay, are you with me now? Page Shin Yud. Shin Yud. Page Shin Yud, yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mention the page. Okay, we're on page Shin Yud. And this is in the Seder of the Bracha, right? So we're trying to understand. We're going to actually get in to see some of the RASHASH, but we really need to learn this language. So here we go. So he said, actually, I like to read the whole thing again, so we have just a few minutes. I'll try to think sift through this, what he's saying. He says the parts of Zair Anpin kolom mevok the shem ma'u the vok the shem ben. It's like, if you looked at it, it seems like it would be split right and left, vok in the ma and ben. So v'lechein hu nechlach l'shnei bechinos. So therefore, since that's it, it's always called by these two different names, the yachda, which is zuna gedolim. So let me read it again. He says l'chein hu nechlach l'shnei bechinos, and they crime yachda v'zuna gedolim. So these two parts together are called zuna gedolim. So chelik hama shalo nikra Zair Anpin v'chelik haben shalo nikra nuk. We should be able to understand that. V'shnechem yachad mahavim as parts of Zair Anpin aklali, makes Zair Anpin aklali. Didn't he also call it in some way? He says zona gedolim, ma'uben, different ideas. V'chasada v'chagavuras mispashtim heim bechelik Zair Anpin de zona gedolim. So they spread into a portion of the zona gedolim. V'heim bechelik hanuk de zona gedolim. So he says, they spread into the Zad of the Zona Gedolim, V'heim b'chelik hanuk the Zona Gedolim. So again, different words, but the same thing. He says, V'chasadim mispashtim b'tzad yamin shalachem hanikrum ma, V'chagavuras mispashtim b'tzad smol shalachem, which is called ben. So we're talking about Zona Gedolim have two different sides. They have a ma and a ben side, and this is like a vagary in my mind, exactly how everything, well, you're right at the beginning over here. And the Gevuros, which are in the middle line, ben. Well, but anyway, Chasadim and Maz and Gevuros are ben. Gam kav yamim hu bebechinas ma. So the whole right line is ma. He's a kav small bechinas ben, and I think he means the left line is going to be the concept of ben. Then there's a middle line. Kavim soy, this middle line, shekolo shnei hatzdadim hu bechinas mahu ben, that has within it two sides. It has two sides to it. It has a ma side in the middle, and it has a ben side in the middle. Hilkach bein chasadim bein hagavuros. So therefore, whether we're talking about chasadim and gavuros, yesh to call echad mechem shlosha chalukos. Now this is where I get a little bit confused. I was doing okay up to this point. He says you can divide each one of them in three different ways. Vofen zeh. So how do you do that? He says hachasadim hamispashte b'sfiras the kav yamim. That's called the ksav. That yad is called chacham. Nekroyim ma. So hachelach hamispashte b'kav yamim nikra ma. The ma is called the. So there he's saying, like, I think he's saying there's two sides to it. he says what's on the right side of it is the ma de ma. Bechin v'chasadim shehem bebechinas ma. So that's the ma. Chasadim is passion b'sfiris, the kav small is baga. They're nikroim ben, the his passion, the kav small, ben de ma. Now this is where it gets confusing for me. Because I think if it was talking about mamas, he was talking about ben, then it would be ben de ben. But since he started first and he said that the ma is going to be on the right side, I think he means, I'm not sure, that he means that there's a right side and a left side to the right side. I think that might be what he means, but I'm not sure. The kav small, but baga nikroim ben his pashtus the kav small the ma. So it's ben de ma, which is the chasadim. You are dealing with the line of chesed. For chasadim, the mispashte b'sfiras the kavim soy. Now I'm a little mixed up, but I hope it's going to get a little bit better. So he said, for chasadim is pashte b'sfiras the kavim soy. Now we're moving into the middle line, which is the line which is called dati. Nekroim ma u ben. They're called both. They're called ma and ben. Hahispashas the kavim soy the ma chasadim. This is the chaspad. This is the ma u ben the ma. The ma u ben the ma. That's what's all happening on the right side. V'hagavuros and mispashas b'sfiras the kav yamim. So their gavuros also spread into the right line. B'sfiras the kav yamim, which is the line of chacham. Nikroim ma. They're also called ma. That is pashas the kav yamim nikra ma. Ma de ben. Now let me read it again. Since it's going down the right line, and he seems to be saying that the gavuros go down to the right line also, but they're on the left side of the right line like that. They're called the ma de ben. All these, I get really confused by these brackets here that he puts in here. He's trying to help me, I know, but it's the ma de ben. It's called the ma de ben. I'll just read it one more time. Hagavuros hamispashtos b'sfiras the kav yamim. So the gavuros that spread into the right line. Excuse me, my microphone just fell over. Try to get it like that. Okay. So he says, I'll get it again. Hagavuros mispashtos b'sfiras the kav yamim. The gavuros that are going that way. That line of chacham. So now we have the tzarayat really that they are going down the right line as well. Is going to be the ma hagavuros in the nikra ma, and that right line, which is the right line of his pashas kav yamim nikra ma. This is called the ma de ben, because in other words, ben is going down that line, but it's in the ma line, so it's the ma de ben. Bechinas gavuros shehem bechinas ben. The hagavuros and mispashas b'sfiras the kav small, which is the baga. That's going down the left line. Now we're looking at the left line. That's ben. Ben is the left line. This pashas kav small. That's spreading down the left line. The ben, which is the left line, is the ben to ben. I guess he means it's the ben to ben. That's the ben to ben. That's the left line of the left line. V'hagavuros mispashas b'sfiras the kavim soy. Now that's that. So now we went over to the middle. So he didn't say anything about chasadim in the gavuros, so I'm not sure that I understand 100%. So again, the gavuros are mispasha b'sfiras the kavim soy. Now there are gavuros that spread down the middle line. So the nekroim ben, they're called ben dema. Right? It's the gavuros in the ma line. Now he says it's the middle line. His pashas the kavim soy the ben, so he says it's ben the ma the uma the ben. That's well, because I got it wrong. The gavuros that go. I'll read it again. Sorry, but I haven't got it 100% here. He says Gavuros hamispasha b'sfiras the kavim soy. Now the gavuros that spread down the middle line, which is the line of dati, are called by the split because there's two of them. They're the ben and the ma de ben, which is the gavuros. So his pashas the kavim soy the ben. So it's ben de ma de ben, ben ma de ben. Gavarn is bar b'charichos b'mavo seder b'mavo. So we already apparently went through this, and maybe I have to go back to the mavo and they'll say that his pashtas the chasadim v'gavurs the shitas of RASHASH. So exactly how they go. So in other words, he explains where they go into different places. Al pi bir Moreno, Rav Avram Mishon, Bal Asfas Emes, V'nachzer al Zeh B'Katsara. Now that first part there, where he's labeling how he labels the lines, it was missing a little bit for me to be able to say, because what I want to say is that the right side, what I want to say, is the right side contains a right side and a left side. So one is going to be the ma de ma, and the other one's going to be the ben de ma, because the right side is the ma side. Now, I didn't really get into in what he was saying about what goes on the left side. On the left side, you're going to have the ben de ben, which is going to be the left side of the left side. But you're also going to have a ma de ben, which is going to be the right side of the left side. Then he went into the middle, and now we sort of like it's a ma u me, it's a ma u ben de. I don't know. He left it at ben. We have any more time? We have 2 minutes, because this is where it actually starts. The part that I want to really look at. That was something to think about. He didn't say it out the way that I said it out, which is a little worrisome. So therefore, we'll go on. He says, so this is where it is. The Chassan and Gevuras are going to spread downwards. Because parts of Shalom Makola b'shlosha prakim. So now let's look at each Sefira. Let's look at an Orech. It has 3 different prakim. Prakim al-yonim to call Sefira nikroim Chabad. So normally when we're thinking like this is the way the language goes. He talks about the Gar, he calls it the Chabad. Hapirkam emsaim nikroim Chagad, hapirkam atatnonim nikroim Nai. Now he looks at these as partsufim. So he says it's one partsuf with 3 sections, but I know that he considers each one of them to be a partsuf also, how he uses it, where he uses it. Now he said the chasanim v'gevuras mispashtim rak bepirkim emsoim v'tachtonim shachasfiras chagat nehem, so those which spread into those spheros. The say that his pashtus achasadim kan hu the call chesed the gevur mispashet b'sfira achas. Okay, we're really out of time. I could go back on this. It's maybe we'll go back on it tomorrow, and we'll start with the chasadim, and we'll see. So see, tomorrow is Thursday, so there won't be a back end on Thursday, right?
For now, yeah.
Okay, so we'll have a back end, God willing, Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
And Friday.
And Friday. Right. Beautiful. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem. We'll look at this some more. Go to.